Hey, what's up guys? Scott here from Icon Vehicle Dynamics, and we're going to talk a little bit today about some maintenance you can use on your Icon shock absorbers and coilovers to maximize their service life. Icon shock absorbers are high-quality, rebuildable, race-style shock absorbers that are designed for optimal suspension performance. A unit of this caliber on your vehicle does require a bit more maintenance than your average shock absorber, however. Today we're going to talk a little bit more specifically about inspecting key components on the shock absorbers, cleaning these to minimize wear and tear, and also some additional accessories that can be purchased to protect your investment over time. The shock absorbers can be cleaned and inspected either while they're installed or with them removed from the vehicle. We have removed this coilover from the vehicle in order to show this process a little bit better and with more detail. For cleaning the shock absorbers, Icon recommends using mild soap and water and a soft scrub brush. You want to avoid using any harsh chemicals or solvents or any abrasives that could potentially damage the finish on the shock components. The key parts we're going to look at here would be the seal head and shaft area of the shock absorber, the upper and lower mounting points, whether it be a bushing or spherical bearing, and on a coilover, the threads and adjuster nut area as well. The first and probably the most important part to check would be your seal head area. This should be kept clean, free of debris. Make sure that you don't see any oil leaks. Excessive buildup of dirt around this area can cause extra wear and tear on the seals and shorten their life. The shaft of the shock absorber should be clean, free of any debris as well. Inspect it to make sure there's no pits, rust, or any sort of imperfections on the surface finish. We want that to be as smooth as possible to avoid damaging any seals as the shaft moves past them. Many coilovers will have an integrated shaft bump stop built into them. And if yours does have one of these as well, you want to make sure that that is as clean to avoid basically forcing more dirt and debris into the seals every time you bottom out on that. Get in there with a brush, soapy water, clean out any dirt, debris, anything in there that would potentially wear on those seals. Next, make sure to inspect your upper and lower mounting points on the shock absorber, whether it be a spherical bearing or a bushing. Both of these items should be kept clean and free of debris. Inspect it to make sure that the material is not worn in any way and there's no slop in either of these style of joints. Any sort of grease or oil on the bearing is going to attract more dirt and debris, which inevitably is going to lead to faster wear and tear. If you're working on a coilover shock, make sure to inspect the threads to make sure they're clean and free of debris. If your shock's equipped with a remote reservoir, make sure to inspect all the hoses, fittings, and manifolds for any leaks or damage. Icon recommends checking the nitrogen pressure in your shock absorbers periodically. It's best to have all the tools available to recharge the shock to the proper pressure before you actually start checking it. This should at least be done annually, but more frequently if you're using the truck more aggressively off-road or if you're starting to notice some issue develop with the shock absorbers. The recommended nitrogen pressure for each shock absorber can be found on their installation instructions under the Tech Notes section. If you live in an area where road salts or mag chloride are regularly used, it's best to try to mitigate exposure to those chemicals as much as possible. We understand that this may be inconvenient in the middle of winter, but do your best to try to get these chemicals off the shocks and other components as quickly as possible. If after inspection of your shocks, you do realize that there are parts that are worn or damaged and in need of replacement, we have a wide range of service parts and kits available from either our website or any one of our dealers or service centers. One of the primary features of Icon shocks is that they are fully rebuildable, meaning that every part on them can be replaced when either damaged or worn. Some common service parts in this case include spherical bearing and Heim spacers, shock shafts, seal kits, and anything else you may ever need to keep these shocks working just like new. In addition to the service parts, we offer a wide range of accessories that can be added onto your shock absorbers to further protect your investment over time. Some of these accessories include neoprene wraps that can be installed on your coilovers to protect them from the elements, shock boots to help protect your shafts from dirt and debris. We offer hose shields that can be installed onto reservoir hoses to help protect them from chafing and abrasion, and shin guards for certain applications to offer further protection from trail damage. While the shocks are being serviced, this is a perfect time to take advantage of many of the upgrades that are also available. For example, some of these upgrades include fin reservoirs, CVC upgrades, spring rates, or valving changes. To sum it all up, high-performance shock absorbers like these do require a bit more care and maintenance. But because of their serviceable nature, these Icon shock absorbers are really a long-term investment that can easily last the lifetime of your vehicle. For more information about all things shock service related, check out the link in the description below.